Well, Facebook Live again. It's Graham Little, knee Peter Pope. We're from www.fightpharmacorruption.com. Been another big day fighting corruption. It's never ending, as you well know, all you beautiful mothers and fathers out there and many others that are affected by a lot of corruption right across the Australian community and around the world, as we hear this morning overnight with the Vax News. Interviews with Robert Kennedy Jr. on the bus, and also Dr. Humphreys. Please tune into those. They are mind-blowing. And what that incredible Robert Kennedy's got in mind, the 1-minute videos, mothers, the 1-minute videos. We're going to go one step further in Australia with these. We're going to go one step further, and we're going to attach the 1-minute videos that Robert Kennedy is wanting to get out in the US of vaccine damage and other damage from pharmaceutical industry. We're going to attach that to adverse event claims to our Therapeutic Goods Administration, our TGA in Australia. So we may be able to get Robert Kennedy to be going down that path as well. So great to have a lawyer on board. Love to meet Robert one day. Hope he's still alive by the time the two of us meet, and me too. So let's switch the play. I'm actually at the health department. I hope to actually talk to a human being today about some outrageous material that's been sent, and some of you have already seen on the internet. This is off the planet, absolutely off the planet. I don't know where I live anymore. I've tried to see a human being. You have to go to reception. They will not put you through to anybody. Anyway, can't even talk to anyone on the phone. It's just like a fortress. But behind me, there's a whole wall of people that contributed to the building of the health department. So I might do another Facebook Live with all these people, see if we can track them down, because they'd be horrified that you cannot talk to a single human being in Hennessy's department. So without further ado, I've got a big announcement to make on the complaint we did 3 weeks ago. This is exciting news. I'm really excited about this. You may not be, but I think differently to most of you, as some of you already know. This is the answer to Minister Hennessy's Show Us Your Tweet saga, where she forged, with a lot of help from Reasonable Hank, whoever he is, or many people he might be, forged 14 tweets delving into the secret bowels of Facebook groups. So some of you watching may be part of that corruption. So luckily we've got a corruption commission in Australia, in some states. It's called the Independent Broad-Based Anti-Corruption Commission in Victoria. So I've tried them out, and here's a reply 3 weeks later to the fact that Minister Hennessy forged all this and went on national media. None of the media retracted it. I rang up a week ago and said, I've got fresh new information. Can I talk to someone? And this is what they come up with. I kid you not. Okay. I talk a bit louder because when I switch here, it goes softer. Is that right? Anne's joined. Can you hear me okay? Thank you. So we've got the Independent Broad-Based Anti-Corruption Commission, and we've got a reply 18th of November. Graham Little, fighting pharma corruption, complaint against Jill Hennessy and Mr. Peter Tierney, referring to my complaint on 27th of October. Now, I shouldn't laugh. After careful consideration, which did not include answering my phone call and taking any fresh information I had, of the information you provided, IBAC has decided not to investigate Minister Hennessy's corruption or refer your complaint to any other agency for investigation. In reaching this decision, IBAC has exercised its discretion pursuant to its Anti-Corruption Act, and in particular has been guided by the matters set out in Section 67. You should be aware that IBAC is only able to investigate a very small number of matters, and that doesn't include Minister Hennessy. They'd be doing it every day. IBAC assesses whether matters it receives are or involve protected disclosures, etc., etc. So I'm pretty excited, actually, that they've come up with such an incredibly corrupt reply when I actually said I had new information as well, and they didn't even want to hear it. I mean, another time I'll go through each individual that is on the Corruption Commission, and we'll see who actually makes these decisions and lets Minister Hennessy off the hook. Now, it's only temporary, guys, because there's a lot of other actions we can take. And of course, some of you might recall that I mentioned that Minister Hennessy was in fact a Deputy Commissioner of the Anti-Corruption Commission. So there was always going to be a bit of a problem there. She obviously knows plenty of them there. So this independent, broad-based commission, all you people there, you are going to rue the day you did not want to investigate how stolen Facebook things could be converted into massive media beat-ups and nothing happened. You expect the people to cop all this nonsense? It is outright corruption of the Corruption Commission. So we'll be coming at all of you. You're all public servants. You're getting paid money out of taxpayers. Don't think you can close the door on all the people that are in this network wanting freedom of choice and informed consent. It's just not going to happen. Now let's just quickly shift to the mantra that we should be focusing on as a government. This should be your prayer every time you eat any food. Too, I mentioned it before. The Supreme Court of the United States of America, the case of Brucewicz et al. V. Wyeth, October the 12th, 2010. Get it in your heads, everyone. Most importantly, there is an act in the US that eliminates manufacturer liability for a vaccine's unavoidable adverse side effects. And they've been given exemption from liability in the US, but we live in Australia. The National Childhood Vaccine Injury Act 1986. Please understand that message. The coffee shop here, I might have been talking to, they probably all work for the health department, and I hope they're getting scared because we're going to find whistleblowers, and I don't think that act applies in Australia. I'm hunting that down. I think there's massive litigation to come. We want whistleblowers to unite. We want mothers and fathers to report adverse events. We want the 1-minute videos that Robert Kennedy talked about. I'll be doing one tomorrow with a mother that blew my mind apart on November the 11th. I'll be telling you more tomorrow. It'll be probably around about 2 o'clock Facebook Live. We'll be starting more of these mother interviews, and all of you can participate. You've got to come out. You've got to prove to Mr. Hennessy and the fortress here at 50 Lonsdale Street we can't talk to a human being. There are actually unavoidable adverse events happening. And then, lo and behold, the reason I rushed to the department is to get confirmation that this next thing I'm going to show you is true. This cannot be possibly true on a government website I'm about to show you. This is out of control, this department. This minister will be in multiple courts. If that's the only thing I do for the rest of my life is to put Hennessy in a witness box and grill her. I may even become a barrister. I'm sick of this. No one else will do it. I'll do it. It's possible. I'm even to practice as a barrister and solicitor. I want the opportunity to cross-examine her on all this bullshit and have a look at this nonsense that came up. This is from Minister Hennessy. Can vaccines overwhelm a child's immune system? No. No, she says, mothers. No, no, no. Mothers with immune-affected children tune in. Minister Hennessy says no. She'll give you 100,000 vaccines at once and she'll still say no. Please report your side effects. I will give you the way to do it. It's simple. She also says Victorian children receive 15 vaccines between birth and 15 years of age. They receive more like 65 before they're 18. Before they're 5, I mean, they've received 14 doses before they're 2 months. 14 separate vaccine injections if you include the mother's pregnancy. Have a look at where she got this quote. See the asterisk? This is Better Health Channel. You can download it on your app. Vaccine 6th edition, Plotkin, Orenston, and good old Dr. Offit. So, Dr. Offit, by the way, I also put that up on Facebook, Peter Little, if you want to have a look at others have seen it. I was interviewed by the Vax team this morning and asked if he'd like to be interviewed and debated with the Vax bus that was outside where he was talking to medical students. And naturally, he is a fairly volatile individual, and he said, go and F off. He did. and it was caught live. You'll see that on vax.com and many Facebook pages at the moment. Last time I saw it was 80,000. So Dr. Offit never said that you could have 100,000 vaccines at once. So why is Minister Hennessy inventing Dr. Offit quotes that he didn't even say, which he never had any signs for? And poor old Minister Hennessy's not corrupt. I mean, I think what I might do, I don't know, give me some ideas. I just can't believe this. I can't believe what I read every day. I can't believe every mother I speak to. I just can't believe what's happened to Australia. Maybe we print this out and we give it to every person coming out of this building. Maybe that's what we do. And then we go to the Corruption Commission and we keep handing it out. We hand it out on all the streets. Would you like 100,000 vaccines? Would you like 100,000 vaccines? Would you like 100,000 vaccines? We don't have to say that they're unavoidably safe, unavoidably unsafe. We don't have to say anything. We just have to show this is the government. Would you trust this government? They say you can have 100,000 vaccines at once. Do you know that they're actually a drug? You have to register them as a drug under the PBS system, under the TGA, the Therapeutic Goods Administration. They're all there. You have to register them. So 100,000 at once? Gee, I wonder why they've disclaimed liability for negligence, the Victorian government. But have they disclaimed negligence, disclaimed criminal conspiracy and corruption? I don't think it works, Minister Hennessy. At some point, a court will find you guilty of corruption. I might be 110, still trying to find a legal avenue in Victoria to have you prosecuted for this outright fraud of telling people they're going to have 100,000 vaccines at once. How long is this going to be up for? I might do this every single day here until it's pulled down. I might come here every day as a ritual. I've got to come through here anyway to get to all my lovely people on the south of the Yarra. I go through Flinders Street. I think I'll come here every day and do a little 1-minute Facebook Live and hand out the tickets and see how many people in the health department are going to be talking to Minister and say, look, maybe we shouldn't say this. They've got no evidence. I mean, you're pretty critical about all those other practitioners we all use, freedom of natural health therapies, etc. So, look, I could rant and rave, as you know, forever, but that one forced me to detour what I was going to do this afternoon, which was create an app. I'm in the middle of creating an app, which will be a simple way of you doing an adverse event claim to the TGA. It will be a legal form. It will require you to complete the information. It's not difficult, and it's any side effect. I don't care. I spoke to one mother today, and some of you know who she is, that is suffering with an 18-year-old son. It's vaccine damage back to 1 year, 2 years, 2 months. A side effect now can be reported now. I don't care whether it related to a vaccine when the kid was 2. We need to be reporting the long-term adverse events. That's what the TGA wants. They want you to report anything you say is suspiciously like a side effect. When you get my app, right, and I'll do a hard copy ahead of time because it's going to cost a bit of money. I'm going to need about $3,000. Any of you GoFundMe /Fight Pharma Corrupt, if you want to put some money in my very meagre account at the moment, the money's dried up. I can create this app for $3,000. What it basically allows you to do, it will have only the words the government's got on their website, the tga.com or .gov.au website. And one of the words is suspicious. If you're suspicious of any side effect, I don't care when it's happening, long-term, short-term, you can put this form in. Last year, there were only 16,000 adverse events. We could get, God knows how many side effects there'd been. That's the entire pharmaceutical industry. That's everything, 16,000, 3,000 vaccine adverse events. I would guess there's probably 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million that are not being reported. So we need to follow the TGA's advice. I will set it out. It'll be legally crystal clear. Please keep tuning in on this move. This is the move to start the ball rolling, to turn Hennessy on her head and get some sanity back into a health department that will not even talk to anybody. If you don't know the internet, they don't want to know you. So what's happened to all the elderly, not even on the internet? Even the switchboard operator says, I'm not on the internet, and couldn't put me through to anyone. Do you know what time the immunisation department here works? She said, you're too late. It's 3:30. They knock off at 3 o'clock. They work from 9 till 12 and 2 to 3. You got a 4-hour window to even ring on the phone. Like, far out. Are these public servants? I used to be the principal legal officer at the National Companies and Securities Commission, 1981. At least we knocked off at 4:51, although most of us in the legal department were so up to our neck in corruption cases, we were still blowing all records for overtime and being told, shouldn't you go home now? Like, you guys work a bit long. I mean, what a farce. 4 hours on the phone and not a human being. And then they want to give you 100,000 vaccines at once. You wait till I show you the 250. I've got the whole list under microscopic examination in multiple trials right this second. I'm going to go through the 250 one day. I don't know how long it's going to take me. No one will listen to me, but I just want to prove how long it'll take to go through the 250 under development to show you what's coming. So at least Mr. Hennessy, will be encouraging the other 900 and... Oh, my maths is pretty slack these days. Anyway, it's a lot. Be 999,750, I suppose, vaccines that you could dream up. Why don't you start dreaming up some vaccines? And it might be the government public servant vaccine to actually get them to serve the public. I mean, there's a disease, a disservice. Anyway, I'm out of here. I'm going to another wonderful place. A group of natural practitioners have been helping me. Probably 15 different modalities that are all clinically ineffective according to the NHMRC. And by the way, I just lodged 6 Freedom of Informations when I was bored on Saturday night to the NHMRC, one of which was, quiet, just don't tell anyone, the conflicts of interest of Professor Calso, the NHMRC CEO, shareholding in CSL. Anyway, shut up, Graham. Move on. www.fightpharmacorruption.com. I'll give you one more look at this document. It's on the Better Health channel, and you can get the website here, victoriahealth.vic. You got to be kidding. www.2.health.vic.gov.au. More garbage. Love you all. Hello to Dr. Freckleton. I'm coming again after your comments about the Ocean case. Dr. Freckleton, after 66 days in VCAT, haven't forgotten you. Don't you ever think that I've forgotten you.